cracking, what's cracking? I'm out here in the UK on the straight out of Compton tour, man. Much love. And you know you rocking with, man. It's Lil Easy E, and we about that online. So we finna get it cracking, man.
Not just on from that in a positive light, you know, as you said, I know you probably not sick of telling the story, but it's a part of your story and a part of your life. But we ain't trying to dwell on the negative aspects. You move forward and continue down with working in the business, still releasing some compilations. At what point do you make it back to Texas and you know, start working with Lil Troy?
Well, you know, when P and I split and King split and King George and I kind of came together to do the Life of a Kingpin album, there at that time nobody really wanted a King George album. You know, it just felt like they weren't ready for it. So I was having a difficulty with getting distribution. And really, at the end of the day, of all the distributors I talked to, and including St. Charles, because St. Charles and I had a conversation about this probably a month or two ago. And I was frustrated because no one really wanted to do a deal with me for my label at that particular point. And at that moment, King George was my only artist. And, you know, Saint said like, hey, there wasn't a lot of buzz for the King George project as a solo away from No Limit. So the only distributor, one stop, was Southwest Wholesale in Houston. So after I, you know, built the relationship, at the time was Mark Gammon was their guy who was bringing on new labels, and then eventually Robert Gillerman was in charge of the whole operations. He's part owner of the company, and I built a relationship with him. They were the only distribution company that really wanted to do business with me and do business with the King George project. There was another, you know, small distributor in Kansas City who really helped us get started by doing some COD business with us, and then we kind of took that money to market and promote. But once, you know, Southwest Wholesale in Houston was the only distribution company that wanted to work with us, that's when I started spending a lot of time in Texas. So if there was a time, if you looked at, once we had the success of the King George album, it was on the Billboard charts several weeks, then we did our own compilation, the Players and Hustlers album, and then we did True Vision, and then we started doing all these different projects. People knew us in Texas because that's where we sold a lot of records. Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Kansas City, Iowa. Like we were, when that whole Midwest and South, we were really big. Okay. And we'd go to clubs and people would just, you know, it was almost so crazy that we were really famous in certain parts of the South. So I think a big piece of that was we just spent a lot of time there because that's where people liked us and we were hot. I connected with Troy because, one, I sold a lot of records in down there and with Southwest Wholesale. He had a relationship with Southwest Wholesale where he was putting his projects out, but he was looking for some marketing and promotion. And Mean Green, the famous DJ, radio DJ Mean Green, who had his Mean Green album that went gold through No Limit, he's the one who connected me with Troy and introduced me to Troy, along with Robert Gillerman. So it was a combination of Mean Green and Robert Gillerman connecting us, and he wanted some marketing done of a Mass 187 project. So when he had that project, I helped with some promotion and stuff, and it didn't do very well. It, you know, sold some records, but nothing big. And at that time, Troy was trying to figure out whether he wanted to put out another album, and we talked about, or I kind of gave him the suggestion, why don't you put your own album out? And we utilize your name and we utilize your concepts and ideas. We put this album together and then we make it happen. And, you know, prior to, you know, us working together on this, the Sittin' Fat Down South album, Troy had some moderate success with a few thousand copies. But what happened with the Sittin' Fat Down South record, you know, we had that record all over the South. We went to the Kappa Beach party. We were out in Galveston and we were promoting the single "Wanna Be a Baller," and the thing just took off. And my relationship with Stan Cobble, aka SK, was really the street and promotion aspect of blowing that record up, and with me and my distribution and really the whole St. Charles thing is what kind of made sure the album was in the retail stores. We had a lot of units out there, and we wound up, selling, over 300,000 albums before the album transitioned on to Universal.
Okay, yeah, that was dope. I definitely remember that. That "Wanna Be a Baller," man. Even out here in the UK, they was playing that. It reached out here, so
Well, I know it did because I've been out there, and people. I'll be in a club, and I hear the record playing, so it's always exciting to hear about that. And when people talk about it, it's exciting to be a part of. When you think about, my experience with No Limit, and then, having some significant success with King George as well, and then transitioning on to, someone like Troy, being a part of, I would say, a three-prong approach of seeing some meteoric rise in success, it's exciting to be a part of that. And things move so fast, and there's just an excitement around it, and sometimes a little bit of anxiousness too. So when you're a part of multiple projects like that, you start to think, wow, like, man, this we're gonna do it again. It's kind of like, oh, you win the Super Bowl, right? Or you win the playoffs, or you win a championship, and then you move on to another team, and then you win the championship again, and then you move on to another team, win the championship again. You feel that you're part of something magical and special, and it worked out really well.
You're watching About That TV, your one-stop shop for the hottest urban edutainment from the UK to the US. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and also join the membership for exclusive content. Yeah, so once again, be sure to tap in with The Real. Drop your comments, let us know your thoughts, and do check us out on our official website, aboutthatonline.com. Peace.
What's up, it's your big homie, Edie Amin, a.k.a. Edie Dom.
Young Noble, outlaw for life, kicking with the homie Fonzie. BDTV, man, and it's outlaw for life. Machiavelli live on, Killer Gaddafi live on. Chill.
Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on aboutthatonline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.